Hi, my name is Tassi Dahalan. I'm a social activist. I am part of this wonderful group of people behind me. We are known as Good Governance Yaya, or GGY for short. I'm also part of the Liberty Circle group. We have a vigil there every Thursday evening. And both teams of people are standing for good governance. We want accountability for our bankrupt nation. We want to see an end of corruption and nepotism. We want to see law and order back in our country. And one thing is we want equal application of the law. We see far too many instances of people being favored and having privileges, and we want all of that to stop. We want a team of people to lead our country back to its glorious days, where a lonely planet called us the #1 destination in the world. I'd like to reflect on an incident that happened at Liberty Circle on the 25th of January, where we have a protest every Thursday from 5 to 6. We've been doing that since March 2022. So it's nearly 2 years we've been doing that protest. It's one of the longest, oldest neighbourhood vigils of Sri Lanka. So this Thursday, the 25th, we hung our posters as usual. I had Dr. Ajanta there with me, who is the presidential candidate from 2019. And she was there with me, and we had a few other people there. We looked across the road near Liberty Plaza, and there was a gang of about 25 to 30 men, seemingly who have just been dropped off in a vehicle, and they were all looking at us, and a couple of them were pointing towards us and looked a bit uncomfortable, but we just thought we'll just see what happens. At the same time, on the island in the middle of where the circle is, there's always about 5 to 6 policemen from the Kalpiti police station who come there every Thursday like a prayer and stand there for the hour with us. But the funny thing is, on the 25th of January, when the thugs started crossing the road towards us, we saw the policemen walking away. For the first time in my life, in so long, more than a year, I saw the policemen leave just when the thugs were approaching. It didn't make any sense to me at the time because we were just actually focusing on the thug attack. So the people came, they said we have to leave, they tore off all our posters, tore down my national flag, telling me I'm not allowed to hold a national flag in a protest. First time I've ever heard that. I've been doing it for nearly 2 years, as I said. They basically want to chase us from there. They said we cannot stand there because they want to stand there. I said, look, there's only 5 or 6 of us. We can all share this space. Please come and stand with us. No. They grabbed all our posters, ripped them off, and they were trying to confiscate them. And they were telling me to go home. I said, I won't leave until you give me all of my belongings back. So then slowly, one by one, the posters were coming back. And then I wasn't going to leave. I decided to walk across the road to where the policemen had deserted us. My protest time is 5 to 6. I wasn't going to leave before 6 o'clock. I walked across, I stood there, and I said, I'm going to stand here till 6. But they who chased us, saying they wanted to occupy that space, they crossed the road, came and surrounded us again in the middle island, started pushing us, touching us, just being bullies, basically. So Dr. Ajanta, very, very wise, she said, Tassi, if we stand like this, they're going to keep on trying to hurt us, they're going to keep on trying to push us, let's sit down. Because it looks worse if they try to lift us up, and Thank goodness, while all of this was happening, the Sirasa and the YouTubers who were there, their cameras were rolling. So everything was captured on camera. I mean, it was just, we had all the evidence we needed. The evidence was that the policeman walked away when the thugs approached us. All of what the thugs did, we had one of the gentlemen with us named Imran. He was head-butted. He was assaulted by one of these thugs, which I didn't know at the time because we were sitting down, being surrounded by them. They were so close to us that they were lying down on my feet. That's how close they were, on my feet. And it was only much later when I watched the news that night that I realized that some of them had concealed weapons under their clothing. And only then it hit me how close we were to have been severely injured had they decided to stab us or even slit our skin or whatever it is. We had no police protection for 30 minutes, after which The OIC of Kalpiti, Mr. Dushmantha, arrived in his big fancy jeep, got down with his dark glasses, just like, Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan in one of these Hindi movies, He came and he said, right, try to send all the people home. Then we were trying to get him to listen to what had happened. He didn't want to listen to us. He didn't even ask us what were they doing, why are you all, upset, why are there all these people? Nothing, not a question asked. When we were asking him, what happened to the police? Why did they walk away? He said, I'll look into that. And when one of the the thugs told him, look at this lady, she's holding a national flag at a protest. He didn't even correct him to say she has every right to do so. All he said was, Hari Hari api eka bala ganna dan oglan gedar yanna. So his job that day was not to come to protect us. He was not there to see what had happened to us. He was there to send the evidence home. He was there to send the perpetrators home without any questions asked. When my friend Imran told him, this guy headbutted me, his answer to that was, no, this is an argument between your two parties. I'm sorry, but this is ludicrous that the police were not there for us when we needed them the most. They stand there for an hour every Thursday, but when we needed them, they left us at the mercy of those goons. Some of them were definitely on drugs. You could see by the way they were walking, the way they were behaving. They were swearing at us. They were using the most uncouth language. I asked one of them, do you know who this lady is? Trying to explain who Dr. Ajanta Pereira was. And he said, I don't care who she is. And when they were trying to touch us, when we said, don't touch us, don't touch us, one of them said, what is there to touch in you? They were so crude in the way they spoke to us. We are trying to seek justice. We have gone to the human rights. We have gone to the Women's Bureau to lodge a complaint because they were all over us. We went to the police headquarters. We wrote letters to the acting IGP, Mr. Deshabandhu Tenapun, for him to please intervene and follow up on this because we don't have trust or faith in the Kalpiti police. I thank you, Ground Views, for coming here and listening to me and taking my views on this entire protest movement.